I've been testing a lot of mini PCs, as you've probably noticed. I love them. I think they're really cool things. Sort of like how handheld PCs are similar but different from laptops, mini PCs are similar but different from desktop PCs. You can use it like a computer to do computer stuff, if you have computer stuff to do. But the best part about a mini PC isn't the form factor or the Cinebench scores or whether it can do frickin' Photoshop. The best part about a PC is that you can use it to have fun. And in this aspect, I've kind of failed you. I'm not perfect, alright? I've been thinking about my approach to reviewing mini PCs, and I'm bored with what I've been doing, and I want to make it more interesting for me, and for you, I hope. And I think moving forward, I'm going to treat them less as a benchmark machine and actually just have fun with them, the same way that I do for handhelds. Does that sound good? Why am I asking you? You can't answer. Oh, I guess you can if you leave a comment. That's what I should be saying. Does that sound good? Let me know in the comments below. That's what a good YouTuber would do. I'm still learning here. Bear with me. The GMKtec Nucbox K6 is a beast of a gaming PC, considering the tiny size. This thing is about as big as the Dragon Bone chair by Tad Williams, and it weighs as much as 3 large bananas. But unlike 3 large bananas or the Dragon Bone chair, this thing is powered by a Ryzen 7 7840HS processor, with integrated Radeon 780M graphical capabilities. What does that mean? Well, it means your games run good. We also get 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM clocked at 5600 mega things per second, a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, integrated Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, and it has some holes in it. Lots of holes, actually. On the front, we get 2 USB-A holes, and 1 USB-C hole, and a headphone hole, and a power button. And we get some ventilation on the side, a nice GMKtec logo on top, so the girls who visit you can be impressed that you have a genuine GMKtec. Ooh. Around back, we have 2 more USB-A holes, a DisplayPort hole, HDMI hole, dual Ethernet holes for you true TechDweebs out there, and a power plug hole. This uses a 120 watt power adapter, and it also has some other specifications. Everything you could want to know is on the website, so I'll link to that in the description below if you want to know more. And with the boring stuff out of the way, let's see what it can do. Well, to start off, it can do this. Pretty cool, huh? Can you do that? Yes. Oh, neat. I wish I could do that. I started off playing The Witcher 3. This is 1080p, high settings, with quality FSR. This particular quest was pretty graphically intensive because there's a lot of people on the screen at once, so I averaged 44 FPS. This is my second playthrough of The Witcher 3. I'm in New Game Plus mode right now, and it's one of those situations where I haven't played in a few months and I'm getting back into it, but I kind of forgotten what all the items do and what my build needs for materials and stuff. So I gotta figure all that out again, but whatever. I'm about to find my way to Skellige, but I'm cleaning up a few side quests here in Novigrad, and this one is the Forefathers Eve quest. Here we have to meet this guy and his followers at this stone circle at midnight, and then he's gonna do this ritual, and then we're attacked by a water hag and some drowners, and you have to defend him. It's a pretty tough fight at this level, actually. This is New Game Plus at the Blood and Broken Bones difficulty. I beat these guys, and then there's a ghost, I guess, and then there's these other guys, these witch hunters. They show up and they say the ritual is necromancy, so I chose to side with the guy and try to beat the witch hunters, and I freaking died. In hindsight, I should have been using my bombs and watching my health better, and well, live and learn, or die and learn, I guess. And here's some Doom Eternal running at ultra settings, 1080p, and I'm getting an amazing frame rate. I think I got like 75 FPS by the end of this run, and there is a lot of stuff going on here, as you could see. If I was playing this on a high refresh rate display, I'd probably go down to medium or low settings to get that FPS up. I'm playing through my display capture now, which maxes out at 60 FPS, so there's no point in doing that here. I haven't even beaten this game yet. I kind of chip away at it whenever I'm testing a mini PC or a GPU or a handheld PC. This game runs freaking amazing on almost any hardware. It's such a well-optimized game, and it just looks awesome. I'm pretty late in the game. This is the Doom Hunter's base, I think. This section here is where I first meet the Pinky, which is a demon that's sort of a light red color. like a pale whitish red color, whatever you call that. The pinky charges at you and you have to dodge out of the way because it's vulnerable in the tail, just like me in real life. Anyways, this fight was freaking epic. It started out pretty simple, but eventually, look at what I had to deal with here. The game was throwing everything it had at me. I'm playing on ultra violence difficulty, which isn't great for me actually completing the game because I die a lot, but I like games like this to be really freaking hard, otherwise I don't have fun when I'm playing them. I need the challenge, even if that means I get slaughtered over and over again, like what happened here. And then I played some Monster Hunter World. This is medium settings, 1080p, and I got 72 FPS by the end of this play session. Freaking awesome performance on the GMKtec K6. I only just started this game. I was playing Monster Hunter Rise, and I put a few hours into that, and then maybe I thought I'd check out World before deciding on which one I want to put a lot of time into. I'm gonna play this one for a few hours and then decide, but I'm leaning towards World, because it's just nicer looking. Rise feels maybe more complex and traditional as a Monster Hunter game, but World feels more like a next-gen action RPG and less complicated. I don't know though, we'll see. If you have an opinion, please leave it in the comments. Help me decide. Monster Hunter World versus Rise, which should I do? I'm still learning my way around the village here, which looks freaking awesome. I'm pretty familiar with the basics of Monster Hunter because back in the day I put about 300 hours into the Wii version, but I've basically forgotten all the more complex stuff, so this still feels pretty new to me. I think this was just a tutorial mission because it was super easy to find the monsters. This NPC guy took me right to them and the combat was super easy, although I did spend some time last session crafting these dual blades and some armor pieces. So I killed some of them and then we needed to go to find the herd, and we did. And then this epic battle ensued where I basically just murdered an entire species of creatures who were just minding their own business. But I needed their body parts, so what are you gonna do? And then this happened. This big great jagras came out of nowhere and freaking swallowed one of these things whole. Jeez Louise. I wasn't ready to go on that quest yet, so I went back to the village and I poked around a bit and I played with my pet pig who freaking attacked me for some reason. And then I went back to my room and talked to this cat about my DLC rewards or whatever. And then I sat on the bed and I was expecting something to happen when I did that, but nothing did. And that's that. That's my first quest in Monster Hunter World. And you got to come along with me. And here's Red Dead Redemption 2, but this actually isn't me playing. This is my mom. Yeah, that's right. My mom plays Red Dead 2, sorta. See, my mom loves horses. She's a weird horse lady. So one day I was playing Red Dead and I showed her that you had a horse that you could upgrade and you could train horses, and she was like, give me that controller. And once she learned to stop walking in circles and accidentally shooting her gun at the sky, she was hooked. So now this is her horse simulator game. She mostly rides the horse around and looks for dinosaur bones and does horse challenges, and whenever she gets attacked or whatever, she throws her controller at me and says, save my horse. One time her horse died and she blamed me. I had to make my own dinner that night. So we're running at 1080p, a mix of low and medium settings with ultra textures and balanced FSR 2.0. And we got an average of 57 FPS with these settings. So to start off this highly technical Red Dead Redemption 2 benchmark session, Mom spent 10 minutes choosing a new saddle. She settled on this one. And then she realized that you could change the color of the saddle. So she had to choose the color, and she had a hard time choosing between the gray and the black. She settled on the black, and she knew I was recording, so at this point she asked me to show you her horses. This is Henrietta, her main horse. She loves Henrietta. I'm not allowed to let Henrietta die. This is Horace. That's her most valuable horse, but she doesn't like him. And this is Homer, who was her main horse before she got Henrietta. And she has an empty stall for another horse, and she wants to buy one in Saint Denis. Because today she was trying to do a horse challenge where she rode from Strawberry to Saint Denis within 9 minutes. But the problem is that Mom isn't very good at games. She wants to be. She says, don't do it for me, I want to do it. But then she does things like get stuck beside the train and keep losing the road and accidentally gets in fights with bandits and, ends up throwing the controller at me yelling, save my horse, which I do because I'm a good son. Oh, look at that. There's Ayanami playing Hogwarts Legacy. How you doing, buddy? She didn't finish the challenge, but she was okay with that because she could go horse shopping in Saint Denis. So she went to the stable and she found a new horse that she really likes. She named her Harriet. Will Harriet still be alive the next time I show you this game? She better be, or I'm in trouble. And I finished up with a little Baldur's Gate 3. I say a little, but it wasn't little at all. I intended to play for like 15 minutes, but that didn't happen. I played for over an hour. What can I say? I got immersed. I'm playing this at 1080p with medium settings, balanced FSR, and the game ran great like this. I got 45 FPS by the end of this session. This isn't a game where you need high FPS. I'd personally probably lock it at 30 and get rid of the FSR because there's lots to look at in this game. I kind of want it to look as good as it can, and 30 FPS is fine for me in this game. Anyways, I started out and almost immediately leveled up, so I had to make some choices. This is my main guy. His name is Merp. He's a Gnome Circle of the Spore Druid, and I just reached level 4, so it's time to choose a feat. I went with the Druid Magic Initiate to choose a few more spells. And then I had to level up the rest of my party. I have Karlach with me, so I went with Charger for her. For Gale, I also went with Magic Adept, got him some more spells. And for Asterion, I went with Alert to give him that bonus to initiative. I like this party so far. I like their personalities, and we're a good synergy for combat. Speaking of which, I had to deal with this goblin camp. I didn't like the look of going through the front door, so I figured I'd have Asterion sneak up on the outside to scout the place out. Took out this guy all nice and quiet, and then I realized this is an awesome choke point. So I had Asterion climb up here and start the fight by throwing some arrows down. And then I did that druid thing where I threw down spike growth right at the choke point so that they had to tear themselves up as they tried to reach us. And then I had Gale do Crown of Madness on this big dummy to turn him against his friends, and this whole strategy worked out great. I was up against a ton of them, but they kept getting shredded up by the spikes, and this big guy kept killing his buddies. Eventually, they figured out that they could climb up here to this high point and attack me from above, so I had to get over there and deal with them. And I got to use Karlach's new shove from her Charger feat. Check this out. Oh man, I love that so much. It was a bit touch and go there for a bit, but I took them all down in the end. A freaking epic fight, man. Like I said, I planned to play for just a few minutes, and I actually played this for over an hour. It's such a fun way to end a play session. So, should you buy a GMKtec Nucbox K6? Well, maybe. Do you need a mini PC that plays games like Witcher 3, Doom Eternal, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead 2, and Baldur's Gate 3? If so, then frickin' heck yeah, you should. This thing is awesome. I'm super happy with the performance I'm getting here. Probably the best performance of a mini PC that I've tested so far. The 7840HS is a great CPU, and the 780M is a great GPU. It can even do ray tracing, although you'll sacrifice about half your FPS to do that, so don't buy it for ray tracing, obviously. But for like a mini PC, this is solid. You can play modern AAA games at 1080p here with medium-ish settings and have a great time. And of course, it'll do good Photoshop or video editing or whatever. This thing is $699, but there is a $125 off coupon. So it's $574 on Amazon. And you can get a bare bones version or a 2TB version from the GMKtec website. And they made me some discount codes to share with you. So I'll have all of the links and price info in the description below. But like for $574, this is great performance in my opinion. And you get 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 1TB SSD and all the convenience of that tiny form factor. I had fun playing my games on it, and it's my job to share that with you, and I'm happy with this machine. And if you want to pick one up, then you should. And if you don't, then you shouldn't. As long as you subscribe to TechDweeb, I don't care what you do. And that brings us to the end. Thanks for watching and stuff. If you like this video, then check out this video, my review of the GMKtec Nucbox G2. Which is a tiny little mini PC that's actually pretty good. There's a link on the screen now and down in the description below, and you should go watch that instead of cyber stalking your ex-wife. That's it from me. I'm TechDweeb. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.